This is Gary Atensa with CNTV, and today we're in Colorado. I'm here with Light Life Technology. Since 2003, these energy tools have provided solutions for environmental pollution and increased well-being while promoting a healthy environment. I'm joined by the President, CEO, and Founder, Katharina. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Excellent. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. This year you celebrate a 20-year milestone as you continue to create, communicate, and implement the vision and the mission of your late husband, Slim Sperling's inventions. Share with us how this journey began for you.
Yeah, I actually heard about the Light Life tools first in 1996, and I didn't know what to make of it. And then Slim Sperling was invited to Germany in 1997. And so I was asked to translate for his workshops, and he sent a workbook, a manual, so that I could study what he's talking about. And then I was on fire. I was so excited, and I fell in love with the tools before I even knew the man, you know.
That is a great story, the way you came together. It was Slim's greatest desire to bring healing to this earth and really everything living on it. Do you feel this desire maybe is more important today, or it should be for all of us?
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is, Slim created the first tools in the early 90s. And I think especially the harmonizers are so much more important now, because what they are doing is creating this coherent light field. And we have so much pollution going on. And, visible ones and the invisible ones, like EMF, all the stuff comes from chemtrails and things like that. So it's much more important now, I feel, than when he first started, because we're in kind of a mess.
I could agree with you on that. As a grief-stricken petty officer in the Navy, Slim began wondering why his life was spared and realized that his destiny was guided by forces much larger than himself. As a CSU grad, he took a chemical job that ultimately he refused to do or fulfill. Tell us a little bit about that story that kind of changed his course.
Yeah, Slim was invited to find a substance. He was offered a 3-year scholarship to find a substance that can be produced as cheap as penicillin and can be used to lower our threshold. That that we are more susceptible for influencers, for whatever. Mind control could be the name. And so when Slim found out about that, he was so angry. But he thought, I want to know if this is available. So it took him only 3 days to find the substance, to test it on himself. So he was a really smart man, he called himself a hillbilly, but he was very smart. So 3 days. And then he said, I left the academic world as a very angry man because I didn't want to have anything to do with this. This was like unethical, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it.
He never looked back. Basically, he was angry. After that experience, he was deeply shaken and even refused to take his diploma.
Yes.
He turned his back really for some time on that industry. This began his study into alchemy and metaphysics. The research led to the discovery of the first Light Life ring in 1991. Mm-hmm. Explain, what is the Light Life ring, and what is the science that it's based on?
The science is based on the sacred cubic measurement, the first one, blacksmith, herbalist also. And so when you take a normal ring, a wedding ring, you have a right spin on one side and a left spin on the other side. But the left spin is harmful for us. Okay. So he found a way to actually twist a copper wire, so we have a right spin on both sides, and that is beneficial for us.
Wow, that's interesting. Probably hard to explain to people. Many people, it goes over their head, I would imagine.
Well, and I have a larger ring here. So the rings are working, the rings have this so-called tensor field. And you can, sometimes especially the room here is a little dark, so you can actually see it. It's like this soap bubble when we as kids were dipping it in the soap and then having the bubbles.
Interesting.
And when you put your hand through, you might even feel like, some people say, it feels like an invisible glove, And so you can try it if you want. And
I like that. I like that. I mean, these light life tools, which are room temperature superconductors, they produce positive, subtle energy. Are we all affected by energy and then every day?
Of course, we are constantly affected by energy, and we have no way out. I mean, with the wireless technology, I mean, you really have to be somewhere, maybe in the Amazonas or somewhere where they don't have any electricity, then they won't have much of any harm. But, so we have scalar energy everywhere.
Okay.
And what we were told was that the rings actually amplify the scalar energy because it's not everywhere the same strength. And so, like, if you would come to my house, I have rings everywhere. Over the burner, on my phone, of course, on the phone, on the fridge, and over my supplements, everywhere.
You have a safe zone. Your home is a safe zone for you, for sure.
Absolutely.
These energy fields, derived from a combination of sacred geometry with quantum physics, they can be used for healing, not only affecting people, but water and even plants. Why is this important even when it comes to farming?
Well, when it comes to farming, people have to use pesticides. And what we found, and Slim explained it to me because I said, hey, what is the harmonizer doing? And here, this is one of our beautiful harmonizers. So Slim explained it to me that insects go to plants that are not strong, unhealthy plants. So the harmonizer, when they create this coherent light field, they seem to emit negative ions, which are beneficial for us. And the plants get stronger, and so they are not, harmful insects are not interested because the plants are strong. And so the light field that creates it makes everything, has a positive impact on everything around us.
A positive impact. I mean, the name is Light Life Quantum Physics. Well, the name of your company is Light Life. Quantum physics has shown that ultimately everything is light. Light is energy. Science has proven that all energy is interconnected. What do these energy vibrations mean to us? Can you explain low vibration, high vibration a little bit for the viewers?
Sure. I mean, we all know when we are happy, we emit positive light. We emit positive energies.
Yes.
We create this sphere of happiness around us.
Yes.
And what we often don't understand is that our body has an electromagnetic field also.
Okay.
And so when we have positive thoughts, when we are joyful, and it doesn't have to be a big thing. You can go out, like I love children, and when I see a little kid playing, it makes me happy.
Sure.
So Slim always said it doesn't take a lot to make me happy.
That's nice. My wife would say that her energy field is much more joyous than mine, and mine is a little more intense. She definitely believes in the energy field like that.
Yeah, and so, when we have our inner field, our own inner field, energy field gets reduced when we are into fear, when we are angry, when we are jealous, when we have all those, worrying and praying for what you don't want. So this is all what the energy lowers. The more we can open up and trust that, at the end it always turns out to the best. Even the things that are so dramatic, if you look now, our life is where it is because that was at the time a bad incident, but now it helped us to grow in a way we wouldn't have otherwise.
That is interesting. I mean, so energies can be positive or negative, beneficial or detrimental. Yeah. Would you say we are shrouded in negative energies today with pollution in the air, water, soil, and what about the increase in the EMFs, 5G? We hear about it all the time. Are we kind of just shrouded in quite a bit of it?
We are definitely in a mess. We are definitely, surrounded by a lot of harmful energies. And this is why while I'm so grateful to have this technology, because, we need it more now than ever. And so, and the more harmonizers we have in an area, the denser the light field will be.
Yeah.
And this is overriding the negativity. The harmonizer can divert tornadoes, hurricanes, so we can really have such a positive impact, but it takes more than just one in any area.
Oh, definitely so.
But we need to do something, and we have to start with ourselves.
It starts with everyone, like I said, and that's the point of educating folks out there. There are many applications on using Light Life tools to improve your health or to boost your existing wellness program. I'd like to start out with maybe pain or discomfort. Can these tools be applied for pain?
I have many stories, and especially this ring. I was at a conference, and there was a gentleman, actually the instructor. He told us he just had 2 weeks ago open heart surgery. And I'm like, I know from Slim, and from other people that if they put the ring in the short pocket over their heart, that it helps strengthen the heart. So I say to this gentleman, would you like to try one of my rings? And so he said, sure, put it in his short pocket. A few hours later, he says, there's something to your stuff. And at the end, he said, I had to use the defibrillator several times during the day. And then he actually sent me a written testimonial where he said his cardiologist said, you have to, 30 years I had heart issues. And my cardiologist said, you have to live with it. And since I have the ring, I don't know how it works, but my heart is good.
Wow. And like you say, testimonials out there definitely is out there. You can't make any scientific claims. We're not. But those testimonials can be very powerful. I mean, stressful environments are what many of us live in. Can these tools benefit us by calming our mind, maybe even helping us sleep better at night?
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many applications, and they are really limited by our imagination.
Yeah.
You can have a ring under your bed. You can have it on the headboard if you have one. You can have it under your pillow. Like this one, when you work a lot on the computer, you put it over your arm because the red blood cells that bring the oxygen to our body, they agglutinate when we work a lot on the computer. And the rings helps to not agglutinate so that the blood flow goes directly to our...
I know my son has a piece of jewelry that he wears, and he seems pretty peaceful, so I definitely can look at that. Not only adults, but children exposed to cell phones, 5G, negativity. Are these tools safe for children or pretty much any age?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And talking about children, I sent several of the lighter version, like this version of this ring, but that size, to 2 classes that with special ed children, and they were so fighting, no one liked each other, and sometimes the teacher said we didn't have enough space for out time. So I sent her some rings and the coil and harmonizer, and the kids used it as a crown. So when they noticed, they get, the teacher said, just try it, put it on your head, and then, oh wow, I like that. And within 30 days, the whole class was transformed, and one of the kids for the first time could go to a public school.
Wow.
And I mean, all of a sudden they had friends, oh, you're not feeling well, you need the ground,
Interesting.
So it's amazing.
That is interesting.
It is so amazing. I'm so grateful for that.
I imagine got to be great for even anxiety. I see a lot of kids that are suffering from anxiety today, be it a tensor ring, an energy harmonizer, the AccuVac coils or qubits. Are all of them created with the same fundamental basis, or is each one of them quite different?
We have 3 different measurements we are using now. Slim started with the sacred qubit. Now later, a friend of ours, Hans Becker, calculated that there's something missing because there were only 19 measurements. And so we have the lost qubit, and we think the lost qubit has to do with determination and longevity. This is why it wasn't used. Some people used it for time travel, so it was really interesting, the results they had. And then I was given another measurement that Slim also had already, but we didn't have the capacity at the time. And so, what I'm wearing here, I call it a lotus pendant. And this has been very helpful for people when they go through grieving periods. And I seem to use it all the time. There's always something, or very often. And I've given it to friends. It helped them stay calm. Or the pendant, what I'm wearing is a Tibetan pendant. We have those little harmonizers in different sizes, like that.
Oh, that's very small, yes.
Yeah, and so they are for different applications, and we have them gold-plated. Everything is based on fractions of the sacred lost or empowerment cubic measurement.
You've made it very easy. There's no reason we can't be protected in our daily life walking around.
Exactly.
I mean, the two of you met in the late 90s while at a workshop in Germany years ago. Today, you have formed a new research group of scientists and grassroots community who are researching the effects of these tools and their applications. Does education continue to be important to you? And what is the new project you're working on now?
Well, education is my favorite thing to do. So, and what we are celebrating 20 years, and I incorporated 20 years ago. And so, to honor Slim and his work, because Slim said in the last interview in 2006, if he lives long enough, he wants to clean the air pollution on the West Coast, and then the whole nation benefit. However, what we found is it needs more than that, and the West Coast doesn't look as bad anymore. We have many harmonizers, and so on March 23rd, we launch the clearing project.
Wow.
And it goes through 4 phases. So the intention is to clean the nation. Our nation from air pollution, environmental pollution. We start on the West Coast, and that goes a week, and then next month we launch the Midwest, and then the following month the Central America, and then in June we end with the East Coast, and that's so exciting because June starts the hurricane season, and so we are catching basically 2 important issues with one event. So super exciting.
I think the folks in Florida are probably jealous because you guys are starting on that end.
Well, but the hurricanes are coming in June to them, so we will be there for that. And we will make sure that we have many reports that the hurricanes were reduced.
As you continue to educate others, you strongly believe you're never too old to learn something new. 2 decades later, on a 20th anniversary of this journey, are you still enthusiastic, motivated, and committed to this mission?
Oh my God, more than ever.
Really?
More than ever, yeah. For me, my excitement hasn't gotten less. It's more and more, and I love to teach. I love to educate people about how to use the tools and learn more. And so, we might even get to, we are planning to do a workshop with crystals and the tools to see how they work, complement each other. And so there's so much. I still feel we have just scratched the surface. And so, I'm passionate about teaching and passionate about getting the word out because they have to be out there.
We are glad to get the word out to folks. We've probably scratched the surface here today, but I did want an in-depth interview so people understood exactly all that you did, so I thank you for that. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, basically, you can see all the Light Life tools available to order. They make it easy to choose a Light Life tool and explain how to apply it right there on the website. Quite a bit of resources and information they provide there. If you want to stay informed and be a part of the community, sign up for their newsletter, or better yet, sign up for the Clearing Project, which is basically something brand new for this year, and obviously it's going to exceed into the future. Once again, that is Light Life Technology, providing solutions for environmental pollution and increased well-being while promoting a healthy environment. Harmonizing the world, one community at a time. This is Gary Atensu with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.